Squidward was delivering food to Sandy, but he never expected to end up on the moon. It turns out Sandy's tree dome had transformed into a rocket and blasted straight into space. As the rocket entered outer space, gravity suddenly disappeared. For the first time in his life, Squidward felt completely weightless, but they were heading straight into a dangerous zone. First came the freezing zone. SpongeBob built a snowman inside the rocket, but Squidward instantly froze solid. Then they entered the extreme heat zone. The snowman immediately melted. Even Sandy's hand got burned by the machinery. Finally, they reached a high radiation zone. Everyone immediately hid underneath lead blankets. Eventually, they landed safely on the moon. Squidward thought he was back in Bikini Bottom and immediately stepped outside. Then he looked up and saw Earth in the distance. That's when he realized he was actually on the moon. The moon's gravity instantly crushed him into a tiny ball. He tried to escape, but accidentally fell into a massive crater. Meanwhile, Sandy released everyone from the rocket. Their entire ship instantly transformed into a lunar research station. Now they were ready to explore the moon. Meanwhile, Squidward finally climbed out of the crater and sealed the entrance behind him. Then he suddenly realized something.
This moon is a no SpongeBob zone. Here, I'm the man on the moon.
Squidward couldn't have been happier. Then he reached the dark side of the moon. Surely, there was no SpongeBob over here either, so he decided to explore. Meanwhile, it was lunchtime. SpongeBob accidentally confused the launch button with the lunch button. He pressed it, and the rocket immediately began preparing for launch. A second later, the entire rocket blasted upward. Luckily, the chain caught on the crater. At the last second, Sandy climbed up the chain and reached the rocket. She managed to stop the launch, but there was a massive problem. The moon had been pulled out of its original orbit. Because of the resulting tidal effects, Earth's oceans began dropping dramatically. Even worse, the rocket had completely run out of fuel. Nobody had any idea what to do. Then suddenly, Squidward floated out from the dark side of the moon, and someone was following right behind him. Santa Claus. Apparently, Santa had been living on the dark side of the moon, and Squidward's arrival had just woken him up. Santa quickly noticed that something was seriously wrong with the moon. Then SpongeBob suddenly had an idea. He pulled out 4 cans of soda. Everyone drank them and started burping as hard as they could. But it didn't work, so they built a giant sail. Except there was one problem. There's no wind on the moon. Finally, Santa pulled out a mysterious tool. SpongeBob started spinning it faster and faster. Suddenly, a giant spring-loaded snake shot out. The impact was so powerful, it shattered the moon.
What happened? Okay, sorry, it was my bad.
But SpongeBob had one last crazy idea. He grabbed a water gun and started filling himself with water. His body grew bigger and bigger, until somehow, SpongeBob transformed himself into the moon.